Welcome along to round 10 of the BMRL Racing League World Championships 2022. As always, I'm your host Jason Doyle, and today I'm with fellow racer and entrepreneur Josh Okalama.
It's going to be an entertaining race.
Today we're at Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it's the final race. All down to the wire between constructors and drivers, with Jason and Tim fighting for drivers and Mercedes and Aston Martin for the constructors. Should be a thrilling race.
Fairly short track here at Interlagos, 15 turns, 2.677 miles. If you want to get a good run into turn 3, you have to get a good run down the 10 RSs.
1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights ahead of the drivers, and it's lights out, and away we go.
Tom Mercedes gets a great start. He's into P1 going into the center RSs. We see now Tim has dropped back. He's alongside Matthew going to center, and they've made contact. That is not good for either of them. Tim is now not leading the constructor at the Drivers' Championship. He is in P2 behind Jason in the Mercedes. Aston Martin P2 behind Mercedes in the constructors.
You're totally right, Josh Okalama. Jason P1 with Tom P2. Oh, Tim, Swaz Killers swapping back in place like you don't know what, going round the long turn now. Aiken, what are you doing, you absolute maniac? Cutting the corners, and Aiken!
Oh, contact!
What is he doing?
That's not good. Aston Martin and Red Bull have made contact, and that's not good. We see Bratty Terror looking to make a move on his teammate Morale, going through the center races down towards turn 3, and he's through. Morale's gone wide, that's not good for him. Bratty Terror on a charge through the grid now. He's looking up behind the back of Swaz Killer. Is he going to make a move down the inside, going into turn 3? That's a great move.
Brilliant, absolutely astonishing by Bratty Terror there. Morale, as you can see, in 6th position at the very back, close to Aiken though. Can't lie. Swaz Killers, 5th place. I think this could be a good race for him tonight. If he gets points here, that is going to be absolutely devastating for Tim.
He's not going to take that lightly. He's going to try and get behind Bratty Terror again, surely.
On board with Sin Icon now. 1st position. Tom keeping up with 1st position, which is pretty good. Live Drivers' Championship right now. As it stands, Sin Icon will win the Drivers' Championship.
Tim is surely going to try his hardest now to get ahead of Tom, because he needs to clear that second if he wants to win this Drivers' Championship. 1.7 seconds behind Tom. He needs to get a move on right now if he wants to win this.
Do you know what he reminds me of? A wet banana.
As you can see, it's Tom behind. And he's looking to make him. He's got pace to be fair, but if you can see here, Jason, you see that?
Yeah.
There is rain forward. Let's go to Matthew to see what to say about the weather.
DRS is now disabled. I'll let you know that it is time for intermediates. It is time for intermediates.
Swaz Chaos is in the pits. Same thing with More Island. Let's see. Is anyone else coming in? Aiken's the only one left on track behind him. Will he come in? Let's find out.
Sin Icon still not going into the pits, as we can see. Swaz Killers, quick pit.
Aiken's in.
Aiken's in. Aiken is in.
That could really bring them into this race, because as you can see, Jace, Tom and Riser are still out there on the dry tyres when it is raining. They, as in Swaz, Matthew and Aiken, are out on the wet tyres. Look at it now, it's absolutely chucking it out. Jason has to come in if he wants to win the championship. Tim has to follow him in. Tom, it's a bit harder because he might need to double stack. Is it worth him staying out? I'm not sure.
I don't think it is. I don't think the double stack would work, as we can see now. Sin Icon is in. Tom is out.
Is he speed? No, he hasn't sped.
Tom is staying out. Let's see how that works for the medium tyres. As you can tell, it's easily intermediates now. Coming even close to wet.
It must be. It's absolutely drenched out there right now.
To be fair, he's probably creaming himself right now, because as it stands, Tom is winning the race.
And he did double. He came in. He lost a lot of time because he's now behind Swaz Killers, but he's making the move, and it's a wow! It's a good move. Great on the outside. Beautiful overtake from Tom.
Tom being really quick this race. He's setting the bar high for the Mercedes.
He showed some very good pace coming out from Jeddah, where she had a beautiful drive into P3. He showed good pace here.
Sin Icon still taking the lead, but Tim is in 2nd, and he's creeping behind him. He's tickling with his toes. Can he try to get the overtake? We're not too sure at the moment.
These two have been ding-dong all season, battling back and forth. From USA, where everyone expected Tim to dominate the season, he had this massive surge of form from the start, where he dominated with 2 seconds left than everyone else. But Jason come back strong, and he is fighting tooth and nail with Tim for the whole season.
Especially with his 3 wins in a row.
Yeah.
That was a great historic moment for BMRL Racing.
Fortunately, DNF though, which kept him just from pulling away.
Ooh, yellow flags.
Tim's nearly put. I think he thought it was a safety car and wanted to come in. It looks like he wants it because it looks very wet out there. Let's see what Matthew's got in here.
It looks very wet. It does. I don't know if it's full wet or if it is intermediate at this point. It looks like Tom's coming in for full wet. I think Tom's coming in for full wet. So is Shimbo.
Wow. Tom, Shimbo, and Bratty Terror are all in for wet tyres. That has got to be the correct strategy there because look how wet it is out on the track.
I think Sin Icon doesn't want to go in to lose up the position, but Tim is just copying everything that Sin Icon is doing, just so he can stay right behind him and try and get the overtake. We are only halfway through this race at the moment.
It's a good strategy. Unfortunately, Tom and Bratty Terror pick up drive-through penalties for speeding on the safety car.
How dare they?
Even though they're on the wet tyres, that's going to hold them back, unfortunately. But I think up until at least on this lap, they will show good pace because I think it's wet tyres right now.
Who do you think's been the man of the race so far?
It's got to be Sin Icon. He's dominated from start to finish, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. As we're underway, Jason still in lead, but Tim creeping up behind, only 5/10.
Matthew's forward down the order there. He's right behind Shim, but that is not good for him. Tom is showing still very good pace. He's going to make it.
Ooh, he's backed off.
That's not good. This is contact. Tom's going to try and maybe just feed this round the outside to get ahead of Tim.
He's in the better tyres.
He's got the better tyres. But Tim just shuts the door, but he's left it open slightly.
Oh!
Tom's going to take that. That's a good move. That's a
Good move by Tom. I think Tim was in the wrong there.
I think he's coming after this now for his pit stop. Shimbo might be the person to win this race now. He's gone straight around the outside on Tim. That's a great move. Maybe because of the extra grip on the tyres. But I think he's going to chase Shimbo, chase Jason. He's going to get this win because the tyres are so much better right now.
Can we quickly say a rest in peace to Queen Lizzie and Aiken for DNFing this race?
That's unfortunate. He had the pace in the car, but he just didn't have the pace in the driver.
I reckon he would have won this race.
He might need to talk to Pat Smoke and meet the woo.
As we can see, Sin Icon still leading this race. He's been leading most of the race, if not all of the race.
Shimbo's ahead.
Oh, Shimbo! He's overtaken Sin Icon. Of course, being in the wets. Jason's still fighting for it, though.
Will Sin Icon or Ryzen risk coming in for wet tyres? Because it is quite clear.
I think it's time.
The wet tyres are better right now.
I do think it's
catching
time.
his teammate, as you can see, 2 seconds behind.
On board with Bratty Terror now.
He's got ahead of his teammate.
Fighting for constructors. Can we see if they can manage to pull this off? As it stands, they will not get it.
He doesn't seem to have much pace today, unfortunately. I mean, Bratty Terror is chasing Tommy. He's looking like he's a little bit more pace than him. But, that is not going to help his chances. He's just gone straight off there. It's a good save, to be fair to him, but he needs to be much more careful on the throttle there.
He's absolutely bottling it there with that little spin, but he's managed to hold himself. He has lost quite a lot of time to allow more Adam to catch up, but Tom's still in 4th position.
Him now looking to make a move on tonight, but he's not going to care about Shimbo being in first because he's fighting the man ahead of him, and he has no concern other than that. Let's see what he might make a move there. Tom behind. He's looking there. He's got the pace on the right side. He's at a drive-through, and he's come all the way through, and he's right behind him now.
Tom trying to catch up, join the pack. Sin Icon's loving it.
Tim's here!
Oh, Tim!
And that's for the lead in the championship. What a move from Tim! Wow!
As it stands, Timothy wins the championship, but Tom, what's Tom doing? Tom's trying to snatch it off Sin Icon as well. It looks like he's going to get it. They're colliding.
Wow, is he trying to go for the move on Tim and maybe hold him up there?
And he's made it. He has made the move.
Right now. As it stands, Ryzen wins the championship.
Tim still in 2nd and Shimbo in 1st. Tom, this is bad strategy for the Mercedes.
Tom could make a move here. We'll see. Oh, he's made it. Tom is. Oh, he's not. No. He's gone wide. That's not good for him.
Oh, he's touching.
Is it worth him maybe letting his teammate through? But he has pace. He might be able to.
He does have pace, but I do say he should let Sin Icon move. This is not the fight for him to win.
Okay, let's go to Matthew. He's got something to say about the weather.
The weather report is saying it's drying out. The wet is not going to be better for much longer, I have to say. Drying out.
You see Bratty Terror on the wet tyres. Oh dear, he's lost it.
Oh! He's like a dementia person in a nurse's home. He's absolutely all over the shop here.
And that might show that the wet tyres are not it anymore. Swaz Killers still in the lead by about 10 seconds before now. But Tim must be one of the...
Sin Icon catching up to Tom.
Now looks like he has more pace than Tom. He might make a move here. We'll see.
He's coming through now, and he's trying to make the move, and he pulls it off. It looks like Tom held back there for once in his life. Well done for him.
Now Tim, in P2, 5 seconds the gap is now. He's really catching up. This is about 3 laps worth of time. He's already lost, Shimmer's already lost 5 seconds here. Apparently we can see him move in 2 laps, and I think that might be true. Well, we're here, lap 29. Morale on the intermediate tyres now, catching up with his teammate, and it's not surprising. He's got him past here. He looks like he's got way more pace. They're going to go side by side for the DRSs. Is Bright Terror going to keep it? Yes, he is. That's beautiful from him. But Morale does not finish yet. He's going to go for another move into turn 3, surely.
This is absolutely blistering moves from the Aston Martin couple. They are absolutely wrecking up the field. Even though they are in 5th and 6th, they are putting on a good show.
Morale, and he's probably got the move done here. He's on the better tyres, and I think that's it for him. Good move.
Well done. Lap 30 now, as we can see. Shimbo's still in first, but Tim's catching up.
Right off the track there, that's not good.
Thought we were going into the pits then, but no, and then neck and neck, down the straight. Coming into turn 1 now.
He's ahead.
He's ahead, and he's got it. This is
move.
terrible for Sin Icon.
Now will the wet tyre runners try and hold out for dry tyres, because I think it might be getting dry. Let's see what Matthew has to say.
It looks like it will be dry right towards the end of the race. I don't know if it'll get dry enough to pit for dries.
And he's come in for dry tyres. Surely it's a bit too
He's on the
here.
slicks. Oh, it's not a good time, son. It's not a good time.
That is a bad call from Bright Terror. It is absolutely soaking wet. Back of the grid. Nothing to lose, I guess. But it's that Tokyo drift out there. He's not looking good. And he's sideways. That is not good. Not a good call from him.
6th position. Moore Island catching up to Swaz Killers.
He's on the softs.
It looks like the softs are getting better. No, they're not. I take that back.
It's still too early. Still waiting.
Moore Island in the intermediates breezes past Swaz Killers. Can he catch up to Tomahawk now?
Matthew, how many laps do you think it is before?
I think it might dry out just before the end of the race. It is time for dry tyres.
Sin Icon is in.
He is in, and look at that track. It is bone dry. Tim is not
on the
crucial.
slicks.
This might be the strategy call that wins Jason this championship.
Tim not in yet, of
Thomas
course.
in as well. Look at the track. It is absolutely bone dry. I think Tim might have made a mistake here, because look at the track. Everyone else is coming in for dry tyres, and Tim is out there.
He's slow around the track. He's super slow.
What's the gap between Tim and Sinai? Is it worth him staying up? DRS is enabled. It's time for dries. Tim has to come in, or will he?
We need to see how Sin Icon is doing. He is catching up rapidly.
22.6 seconds the gap between them. Is it worth Tim?
Can he make up that time? Tim, he's not sure. If I was him, I'll just stay out at this point. Might as well. Moore Island into the pit.
He's lost a lot of time here. And does he come in? This is going to be the call that will define a championship. Does he come in, or does he stay out? Tim is in!
Tim is in! Sin Icon needs to go around the track as fast as he can now to try and catch up from this pit.
He has to push that. He has never pushed before if he wants to win this championship.
All coming down to the wire.
Now Bright Terror's been lapped here. Where is Tim? Tim is out!
Tim is out!
Tim is out!
But Sin Icon is just here as well. Can he make it? Is he going to make it? I don't think he is. I think Tim's just managed to scrape the lead here.
This is now going to be just over 1 lap. This is going to be the lap of Jason's life if he wants to win this. It's going to be a showdown on the
right behind
for the championship. The last race of the season. The last lap is going to go down to the wire. Let's see who wins this.
Jason in second. Of course, he's on the used softs now. Tim still needs to get there warm. It could be faster for Sin Icon. He looks like he is gaining, but barely. Is it enough for the 1.5 laps to do?
Jason is absolutely pushing for Legion EOS through the corners. How much he wants to win this right now. He is going tooth and nail for this. He's going to go for it, surely. Down the main straight. He's not got any EOS. He's out already.
8
Tim ahead. I don't know how much he has. Let's see if we can get an onboard of him maybe, and see if he's got any. Yeah. He's got a little bit more than Jason, but not much. He's pushing just like... And Jason's
fastest lap for Sin Icon. He's catching up. Final lap of the race. He's pushing like you don't know what. Still in second place, so 9/10. He's had a bad corner, 9.1.
But we've seen from previous laps that he does catch a lot through the middle sector. And this might be when Jason makes up the time and gets a move down the main straight to try and make a move on the line for the championship. Let's see what happens.
Only 1 second now Tim still in first. He's probably shaking. I can tell Sin Icon's probably shaking right now. This is absolutely thrilling race. Oh, and he's catching up. 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths, 7 tenths. This is absolutely blissful. What is happening right now? We don't know what. Tim still in first place. Nearly the end of the Grand Prix. If he keeps it like this, he's going to win it.
These two have fought tooth and nail all season, back and forth. We don't know who's going to win this, but it's looking like it might be Tim. These two, back and forth the entire season, but you can only go back and forth up to the final race because there can only be one champion in BMRL Season 2, and that is Bryson. He is the Season 2 World Champion. Wow!
Well done, my son. Well done. It's absolutely spectacular.